All right, we're going to take a look at how to prove two triangles similar here in this video. Just as a quick recap, similar means same shape, different size. It's either had an enlargement or a reduction. It's either gotten bigger or smaller. In order to do that, we got to do two things. We got to show that all angles are equal, and we got to show that all sides are proportional. So I'm going to go ahead and get started here, and I'm first going to look at my angles. So in order to show that my angles are equal, I got to show that they have the same measure, either by the actual degree, or in this case, we can just use our arc mark. So angle J is going to be congruent to angle R. How do I know that? I see that this one has one arc mark and this one has another arc mark. And that symbol tells me that they are going to be the same. Whatever J is, R is going to be that exact same measure. I can also look here at angle I. So angle I has 3 arc marks. So if I come over here to my other triangle, I see that angle S also has 3 arc marks. So I know that they're going to have the exact same measure. It is given to me. I don't have to do really any thinking or measuring. The problem gives me that they are going to be the same by showing me the arc marks. And then my last angle, I've got angle K. It's got 2 arc marks, and so does angle T. So I know these two are going to be congruent because they have 2 arc marks. Now, what that does, step 1, all angles are equal. We've just shown that based on the picture. This also kind of helps you zone in to the fact that what's happened here is a reflection. This triangle has been flipped over to the other triangle. Once we've looked at all the angles, we next need to look at all the sides. And so we've got to set up those proportions. We do have to be careful to make sure we do set up the correct side. So I'm going to start here with 2.4, which is side IK. If I take a look at IK, it's between 3 and 2. So when I come over here, when it's being flipped over, it matches up over here with ST. So that's going to be 2.4 over 6. If I go up here to JI, side JI is going to be 2 units long. Again, remember it's being flipped. It's between that 1 and 3. I've got 1 arc mark and 3 arc mark. It's that side kind of sandwiched in between it. So when it flips over, that gives me 5, which is side RS. So RS is 5. And then my last one, I've got JK. JK is 4 units long, and again, when it's been reflected, it's going to match up here with RT, which is 10 units long. Now you've got 2 options here. You can simplify these. For example, we know we can take 4 over 10 and divide both of those by 2, and that's going to reduce to 2/5. So we can see that these are the same. However, reducing this one's going to be a little challenging. If you're up for the challenge, go for it. But another thing you can do is just use your calculator and convert these to decimals. So if I type in 2.4 divided by 6, that's going to give me 0.4. 2 over 5 is also going to give me 0.4, and 4 divided by 10 is also 0.4. Because all of these are the same number, I have shown that all sides are proportional. So I've done all my work. I've shown all my angles are congruent, all my sides are proportional. So the very last thing I'm going to ask you to write on your quiz is to write your triangle similarity statement. Your first triangle doesn't matter the order. So I'm going to say K. All right, I kind of got cut off in that last video, but what I was doing is I was showing you how to write the triangle similarity statement. So this first triangle you can put in any order. So I've chosen KIJ. Now, once you have set this order though, the second order does matter because remember our letters are going to correspond. So since my first letter is K, I need to start with the letter that corresponds or is congruent to K. So angle K right here is going to be congruent to angle T. So I'm going to start with T. My next letter is I. I is congruent to S, so angle S is going to come next. And then lastly, we have angle J, and angle J is congruent to angle R. So it doesn't matter your order of your first one, but once you set it, that will determine the order of your second one. So this is kind of my final answer. All of this work points to why this statement is true. This is why we can write this statement. Now, if for some reason you cannot prove one of these angles congruent, maybe there's no arc marks and there's no degree measure, so there's no way to know that they're congruent, or if one of these don't match up, so maybe 2 of them are 0.4 and one of them is 0.3, so they aren't all the same ratio. In that case, you would not write this statement, you would just write not similar. But again, if all angles are congruent, all sides have that same ratio, then our two triangles are similar.